Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Inspirate Business. We, as usual, inspire, empower, and enlighten you. And today, it's a very, very interesting topic. Now, we all go through our own personal challenges, maybe marital challenges, maybe business challenges, maybe health challenges. And there is a reality. We operate in two worlds. There's the world that we know, our physical world, and there is another world that operates. This we know through the Quran, this we know through the Hadith, and there can be a meddling of the two worlds. And this can affect us individually, can affect our own success. And we're going to talk to somebody who is a very dear friend of mine, is a mentor of mine, is somebody that many, many years back when I completed my Hafez Quran, I read Taraweeh with for many, many years in a small little town of Flerov. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Inspirate Business Show, Hafez Moosa Khota.
Wa alaikum assalam, and shukran Hafez Yusuf Dinda for giving me this opportunity. And inshallah, I'm going to take the cue from you. And whatever you need to know or what you want me to say, to my best ability and with Allah's help, I will answer as best as I can. And all this, inshallah, Allah accepts, and I'm just doing it purely for the pleasure of Allah.
Yes, and I personally have been a recipient of the work that you do, and I felt it very important that it needs to be shared to a wider audience. Now, we're going to talk about the gift that Allah has bestowed upon you, a gift which I know of late you have really honed into. You are working very strongly in. A lot of people, you are changing their lives, people that come to you for help, that are desperate. So maybe tell us a little bit about what you do, what you may call it. I know we may call it ruqya, you as an Armour, somebody that is able to heal issues of what they may term in colloquial terms, jadoo, have a spirit that's on you. These are some of the aspects, black magic, and people come to you because they feel they have been affected. And so we're going to go a little deeper into how you go about it and, the methodologies that you use. But tell us a little bit about it.
If we can start with the word magic. Some people call it black magic, white magic, but we stick to the word magic. It is mentioned in the Quran. It is real. There are people out there who has knowledge of how to use it, and they use the creation of jinn. As mu'mins, as believers, we do understand that the existence of jinn is real. It depends on in many different societies. If we take it that way, we'll take it from different cultures. People sit down to study this, and what they can do simply is, if somebody wants to hurt the next person, they may just don't like the person at all, or we don't really understand why. They will go to somebody who has the knowledge of how to upset that person's world, upset his thinking, and how it actually works is that if somebody comes to me, I have a patient coming to me, I will first sit down with the patient and first see, is it an entity that is there, or is it not? So when I begin, I always begin with ruqya, meaning the recitation of the Quran. The Quran has a form of energy It's all based on how we read it and how we apply it. I let the patient sit down and then I will read. From there, then I will understand what is happening. Most cases, yes, there is an entity that is there, and then I have to sit down and say, okay, now which is the best way forward? My work only consists of Quran. There is a few remedies. The first remedy to it is I do my best to encourage the person to begin to establish the Salah. Secondly is I work with water. I do reading in the water because water can be programmed. As you take water, you can program the water. So once a person drinks it, it enters the body, it enters the blood, and it begins to do its work. I work with dates, the ajwa dates, and I also use saffron water. Most problems always begin from the gut. This entity understands us very, very, very well, that we have to understand. But everything is not just associated just to, I think the word you used was jadoo, or people do this to me, people do that to me, and it just goes on. In the meantime, it's not even that. I do my best to make people understand that we're going to use the Quran. Why I use the Quran first? It's only understandable that once we begin to recite the Quran, within the living space that we sit in and reading the Quran, who enters the place? All angels. And that is what you need around you, all the angels. And this entity understands, they don't understand the Quran when you read it, but they know that something is happening to them when you read in the Quran. So if the person is affected, it's either they become bilious, they become quite ill. So we know what's the extent of it. And we just carry on reading the Quran. You have different cases coming. Some will insist that it is black magic being done on them. The job for me becomes quite difficult in trying to make them understand that there is nothing there. But I don't openly just tell them that. So what I do is slowly, I try to build them up mentally. To say, okay, let's begin from here, let's begin from here. Things are happening that way, and we're going to find a way forward for you. Telling the patient finding a way forward for you, I believe that it gives them hope. And Allah is the best. I've always believed that the Quran is the first source of learning. And then we go to the hadith of Nabi, our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and understand how he executed the revelation of that verse that was sent to him, how he lived. Every step he took, how he walked, how he performed the salah was not a mistake. Nothing of his life was a mistake. It was for us to learn from it. The creation of jinn, if I come back to this, it's a simple movement. There are people out there, as I said before, know how to use them. They have a great understanding of our nervous system. Simply how it works is the brain is the server, and the nervous system runs from the brain down into the spine. So what happens is they tend to lag on to the shoulders, sit around there. Most of them do have knowledge of how to probe into it. And that is how the magic is being done. Others do it through food. They have a way of that. I'm still studying that. That how can it give you food, yet the stomach can't remove that. Inshallah, I'll get to that. So there's many different ways of how people work to upset a family or upset that person's understanding of what is going on. So we do our best. Some people call me an Armour. I prefer just to be called a Hafez. Hafez of the Quran. It makes me more feel. I feel much more comfortable with that. Recitation of the Quran also has to be recited in a certain manner, because I understand that every letter has a form of energy. And taking the letters and making up a word creates another form of energy. And the sound, we have to move it. It has to be, Allah does ask us to read it melodiously, read it in perfection. When you apply that rulings, the entity that is there with the people can't take that. They can't handle that. And when one begins to do that, begins to see the different changes.
Hafez Moosa, I'm going to have to interrupt you. A very, very powerful discussion. We've come to the end of the segment. I am so intrigued by every word that you're saying. I hope you are too. As we return after the break, let's explore this fascinating subject further. Welcome back to Inspirate Business, and on our Red Hot Couch, sponsored by Aza Collective. We have a very, very special man, Hafez Moosa Khota, who is talking to us about a very important topic, something that maybe is not spoken about enough. Talking about how black magic, how evil spirits affect and people use that to impact others, and how it does. I mean, you know, Hafez Moosa was talking about how it affects your central nervous system, how it affects your gut. I was reading recently about how the gut is now become the new brain. They're saying if you can get your gut sorted, every aspect of your body runs beautifully. But what very special of what Hafez Moosa is talking about is to combat it is through the recitation of our beautiful Quran, and in its the way its letters are formed, and the methodology of reciting. So just before the break, you were talking about that. Let's just continue on that power of the Quran.
Yes, the power of the Quran. When I do have a patient coming, the first principle I lay out to them is that they have to apply patience, because Quran is patience. It's taken many years for the Quran to be revealed to our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in that aspect, it already tells you that our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam needed patience. So we also have to apply patience. People will sit with me and tell me, but why can't you just get rid of it? It's doesn't just work that way. I've got to wear them down. They have done their work, and they are good at what they do. It's from different countries, they work differently. From the Middle East, if you're going to China, if you come into South Africa, South America, and North America, they have different methods of how to do this black magic, and they do it. What we have very, very, very special is the Quran. Like I said, the most used word is, people will say that, do you do ruqya? Ruqya is a healing process of recitation of the Quran. And what is a ruqya? I would always tell people, Surah Fatiha, the opening chapter. It's how you read it. I've used it and I've seen what it can do. That is what our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught the Sahabas, was Surah Fatiha. All the other ayats thereafter, it's what you choose. They are very, very powerful ayats in the Quran, especially in Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayat Al-Kursi, and the last two ayats of Surah Al-Baqarah. I can go up to Wasafat, Isafan. I'll always read Wadduha because depression also sets into the person. So there's different surahs for different cases, what is actually happening to the person. I have had people coming in and asking me to do certain things which I will not cross the line. Then that becomes magic. They will ask me, Hafez Moosa, can you do this for me? Which I know I can't. That is Allah's decree. The knowledge is there. I have spent some time studying the satanic Bible. I'm saying it openly now. Because I was tired of hearsay. You know, this is a devil and that is a devil and that is a devil. But these people were very, very, very clever. I can just take one aspect out of it. It's the birthday song.
The birthday song, yes.
Yes. People don't realize that when you take the tune, not the words, the tune, happy birthday to you, take the tune in any part of the world, even a rural area, right in China or
Arabic even.
in India, in Arabic also, in any language, they will sing that song in their language but with the same tune. That is how they got that right. Allah knows best. But the minute it's a form of chanting. So the minute you chant it, so the entities that are out there, all
Around the candle with the fire.
yeah, the minute
also
you
has-
chant it, and in Satanism is all the rituals begin with fire. So they take a candle, and they put the candle there and they light the candle, and then they chant the song. So all these entities enter. So that's a full-on satanic ritual. First pillar of theirs is your birthright. The second pillar is indulgence. So the birthday party already explains to you what happens, singing the song in there after all the birthday presents comes. The hypocrisy of it goes further than just looking at it in that way. The biggest birthday party, at what age is it really celebrated in any home?
One.
At one, yes. The firstborn, that's the first child, the firstborn, when he turns one, and then they'll have the biggest birthday celebration. And they put one candle on the cake and they'll burn it. That child don't even know what is going on. And that's the hypocrisy I see into it, because in our belief system, who is one? Is only Allah. And this is where they take us. I hope that people do understand what I'm saying. Just in a little way, I'm just asking is, not practice it. And that is also bringing in these entities. And there is people that is around there that maybe open for one of them to host himself onto the person.
So I want to ask, right? The entities are around all the time.
They're everywhere, yes.
Obviously, we are told to remain in our realm and not delve into that, right?
Yes.
But there are ways of those entities through people doing and going into that world and working to affect you.
Yes.
And this can affect you, your marriage, can affect you personally, can affect your business. This is
yes,
a reality.
yes, this is a reality. This can happen. It's just because we can't see. So the belief in it becomes skeptical. I believe in Allah. Did I see Allah? Can I see Allah? No. One of the first rulings as a mu'min is that we have to believe in the unseen. Lots of people come to me is, can you see a jinn? Can you see them? No, I can't. it's not for me to sit here in all and to say, yes, I can. No, you can't see them. Allah has put a veil over our eyes. The only way that you can see them is when they themselves manifest themselves to you. When they come out and then you really see from the corner of the eye, or you see them, or you see him sitting there, or you know there's something there that's not supposed to be there. That's the only way that it works. Sitting on that point, it's their creation is, how can one say, is they also have a class system like us human beings. You know, we have, Allah says in the Quran, I have created you into tribes and into nations so that you may learn from one another. So they also from different tribes form certain nations, and it depends on their knowledge. So the one that is with a person, it depends how bad the case is. I've had cases that I had to sit back and just walk away because I had no knowledge of what is actually going on. So we're not going to win each and every one, but we do our best. We just stick and we just stick. Some of the cases, I ask the patients that please bear with me and don't put a time limit on it. We're just going to stick to the Quran, and we're just going to stick to it. Alhamdulillah, I've had many, many patients that came to understand it. And today, some of them have really come a long way. I've had some that weren't going to school, began school. I've had some that began to going back to university and getting their degrees, in their masters. They've moved on with their life. So that is the way I know that we achieved our goal, but it's through Allah. Because it's Allah's words. It is His revelation that can only cure, not me. I'm just a tool sitting there, and I depend solely on Allah. That, oh Allah, it is you, and I depend only on you. And the patient that sits with me, I just make dua that they have the patience to understand that they must just relax, just wait. Things are not going to go for you at the moment the way you want it to. But you'll get there. Eventually, we all get there.
I hear you talk a lot about patience and this concept of sabr. And you know, we live in a world where it's all about instant gratification. So typically, how long can, and it's got a few seconds, so how long would a process take?
Patience can last for 5 minutes, or it can last for 3 years, or it can last for 10 years.
Okay. We've come to the end of the segment. I hope you are intrigued as I am. I really am. It's an amazing topic. We've been wanting to do this for a long time. To get Hafez Moosa was quite a challenge. We thank you for blessing us with your presence. Immediately after the break, we're going to segment 3, and let's explore further. Welcome to Inspirate Business, where we're here to inspire you, to empower you, and to enlighten you. And we are being enlightened on a very, very intriguing, somewhat, I would call it mystical subject. I think in today's world, maybe sometimes seen as a little uncomfortable for some, but a very important subject. We know the reality is, and we learn this reality, that people are using in various cultures, various techniques, as Hafez Moosa Khota on our red hot couch is sharing with us, this world of black magic and using it in evil ways, right? In affecting, maybe it could be somebody that wants to see a marriage break down, or there's what they call hasad, jealousy. These are shaitan playing with us, and then we delve into this world, and then affect people around us. So I want to understand, as a normal person operating on earth, you talk so much about the Quran. So what do we need to be doing what are the practical things that ordinary folk living every day should be doing as an armor to protect you from being impacted? Or is it that you don't have an armory to be able to be impacted? If somebody really wants to do it, they will do it.
No, definitely we do have. There is armor there. We just have to understand how to put it on and how to protect ourselves. The first aspect of that armor is it begins with our wudu.
Mm.
And then from the wudu, we process to lay in our prayer mat and perform in our salah. Salah is the best armor. But it's all based on your wudu. That's where we begin. Take your time, take your shoes off before the time of salah. Shut everything down. Take your shoes off nicely, remove your socks, proceed to the bathroom, open the tap. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Life is water. We are part of water. We've been created that way. And perform your wudu in a mannerable way, not too fast and not too slow. And always praise Allah through your wudu. The speed on how you perform your wudu, that will be the speed of how you will be performing your salah. If you take an observance, people rush into the masjid. Alhamdulillah, they're in the masjid. Subhanallah, they are in the masjid. But don't rush to meet your maker with where you have no more breath. If you're late, you're late. Take your time, find your place, and then serve your Allah. Because your salah is your private meeting with Allah. And Allah has said that that's the best armor. Our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also used salah as his armor. So it's how we put that armor on. The reading I do for people.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you because I have to ask this question. It's always intrigued me. And we're going to talk about other tools. Our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is there something to this effect that he was also affected by this black magic and evil forces?
Yes, there is. It becomes debatable. There are many different scholars in the world that said it didn't happen to him. Allah discusses magic in the Quran. For me personally, from understanding, the little I understand is that it did happen to him. And he used salah.
Okay.
So, when Hazrat Jibreel saw his state and told him that, Ya Muhammad, servant of Allah, you're the most beloved, I can fix this up for you. And he refused. It was why? So that he could teach us. It's because Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam is not going to come to me and tell me, Ya Moosa, come, I can fix this up for you. So that's one of the most important teaching lessons
Salah.
for us here is our salah. Let us just establish it. We can begin with one salah. The first salah of the day is at Maghrib. Begin that, try to enhance your salah, and we go to Isha day after, and then you go to your Fajr. We'll stick to the farz of the salahs. And that's the best armor. The Quran reading, when somebody comes to me, it's just to enhance it, to make that entity, the jinn on that side, know that, see, you know, you've been how long with this person? This person has been sick so long. You haven't achieved your goals. And you're never going to achieve it. Because I believe in my Quran, and I believe that my Allah has given us this remedy, and we will use it. And I'll use it till I close my eyes. So there isn't any other. I'll stick to the little that I do because I feel little is more. It's more effective. It's more stronger. It builds a cage around it stronger.
Now you spoke a little bit about some of your tools and techniques, right? So I know water, for example, from a science perspective, I mean, they've done studies that if you play like heavy metal music on water, the actual crystallization changes
Turns to black.
into black. And then if you like reading, they say even if you read Quran and melodious tones of the Quran, it actually becomes like beautiful crystals,
Like snowflakes.
snowflakes. So why water though when it comes to dealing with this? What is the wisdom around water?
Our body consists of 2/3 of water. We have to have an intake of water. When we sit down to eat, we always begin with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Some people will say Bismillahi wa ala barakatillah. Thank you, Allah, for the sustenance. Water is a sustenance that we can't live without. Now, once we program the water, it enters the body, it enters the bloodstream. They have dwelled into our nervous system. So with the Quran reading on the water, it will repair it. That's my belief, and I strongly believe in it, that I know it will work. Saffron water I use is that, firstly, is to clean the person's gut out.
So the saffron helps to
Yeah,
the gut.
to clean the whole system out, and then we take it from there, and then we see what is it, and we go with
So what
that.
is it? You're just throwing saffron in water?
But I do reading on it.
Right.
I also do the same as I do on plain water, and I do it on saffron water. You get the ajwa dates as good compounds in there, which also helps the healing process. There are patients that come in and say they've been to hospital, to a doctor. Nobody can find nothing wrong with them. They've done X-rays, they've done scopes, CT scans, and eventually they come home and they said, no. Now they're 100% convinced that something has done something to me. Those cases are very, very, very rare. But there is ayahs from the Quran that I choose, and I'll sit with them and I'll read. I'll let them come 2 or 3 times, and thereafter I'll tell them, now go back to the doctor. Inshallah, it will come up now. Because there there is some entity that knows how to hide it. So when they do go there, so this is where all the confusion come in. Doctor feels, no, you're okay, there's nothing wrong with you. But the person himself or herself knows something is not right. And taking this medication, doing that medication. And once doing that, and alhamdulillah, I'm not saying all, most of them, when they do revisit and go for the test and all of that, and then it comes up that what is actually, that they are medically, it's a medical problem. So some is medical problems, some is a mental state. Some people have many big dreams, which does not materialize. And then they come, but this has been blocked, that has been blocked, I can't get there, I can't reach there, I can't get to what I want to do. You know, I don't know, some of them go to other people, and then they move from person to person who does this work. Eventually they come there, and I have to explain to them that there is a starting point. Let's start from here. Chase one rabbit. The minute you catch that rabbit, then you have better perspective of yourself. Know what your dreams are. Nobody's stopping you from dreaming large. Nobody is. But know what you have to put in line to reach that goal. It's the same way when I sit with my grandchildren. I persist all the time that I want them to study big, really big. And I always tell them, I want you people to earn lots of money. It's not haram in earning all that money. But with that, I'm teaching them that it must not be for self-gratification. That money that you earn does not belong to you. It still belongs to Allah. Everything belongs to Allah. If us all can just understand that what we look at, what we smell at, what we imagine, what we feel, our emotions, the topic is quite deep. Everything is just Allah. Allah owns everything. And my dream, I'll be gone by then, inshallah, that my grandchildren can one day achieve
Inshallah,
those
Allah
goals.
gives you a long life. Ameen.
Achieve those goals, and they must use it to help humanity. That is the best of people that can help humanity. Set up foundations, set up schools. This is what we need. Inshallah, they'll achieve that. Coming back to this topic of what were you saying, the different types of patients that I do have. There's many, many different types of patients that come. Some is not even related to jinn. Many of it is not. It's just, they're just not happy of where they are in their life.
It's a psychological, emotional issue.
Emotional issue, coming to the marital problem sometimes. One doesn't know what is looking for one from the other.
Sorry, Hafez Moosa, I have to interrupt you there. We've come to the end of this segment. You know, we could go on forever. It's such a deep topic, and I think it needs a show all on its own, a whole series. And we'll have to speak to our producers and have a show just with you discussing this, inshallah. But as you come back, we'll come to the last segment, and let's understand. Somebody is affected, how they can reach out to you after the break. You are watching Inspirate Business, and we're talking to Hafez Moosa Khota, a mentor, a friend, a fellow Hafez, somebody who I read Taraweeh with for many years, and a gift that Allah has bestowed him with, that he's sharing something that can help our community, humanity at large. This of being an amil, this of ruqya, the ability to heal evil spirit, magic, black magic through the power of the Quran. And, you know, Hafez Moosa has been telling us about how important it is to make salah, the quality of your salah, the preparation of your salah through wudu, and various techniques that he uses. Now, we've come to the last segment. Obviously, a lot of people listening to this here may be affected, maybe their family is affected. They may feel that this is something that's affecting them, and they would want to know how to reach out to you, how you go about dealing with this here. You know, I also like to know how long you've been doing it for. You know, is this a full time? I know you also teaching Hufaz classes. So tell us a little bit how people can reach out to you, and you know how many sessions would they come for? Is it charged? You know, I know there's normally the work that you do. How do you charge people, etc.
Okay, people come in and knocking on my door.
You're based in Azadville.
I'm in Azadville, yes. Right. I do it from home. People come around, but it's through word of mouth. Someone will forward my number to somebody, and then we take it from there. Charging people, no, I don't do that. It's at this point in my life, it's a great challenge me not doing that. I don't want to turn it into a business because personally I feel that I'll be losing perspective of what I'm actually supposed to be doing. Because if I begin to put a fee on it, I can call that person every week if I need that money and say, I need to sit with you now, and I need, because something is really wrong with you and I need to, no. How I accept is just that I accept donations. And even when they do, if they have, they can give. If they don't have, that's also fine with me. I come alive the minute I sit with a patient. And that's a great payment for me.
This is your vocation.
Yes, and I thank Allah for that. It's because every patient that comes, I learn something all the time. I have patients that are ill, that firmly believe that all I got to do is just read and they'll get better. Okay, but I just do it. But I always insist that they still carry on with the medical doctors, still carry on with the medication. It's not just because doctors also have a gift. They've studied it. Everything Allah has given to everybody, and everybody has to know how to use it. In a nutshell, my doors are always just open to help whoever can come. That is how I apply myself. I go 100% into it because I don't take on too many. If there's a serious case or that case, it's not, I don't want too many, simply because I will sit and do my best to help that human being till where I get the human being, or where the human being should be. And alhamdulillah, once we get from there, then we'll see somebody else will come, and Allah will send somebody else, and Allah will send somebody else. How it works, wallahi, I don't know. And I think Allah, I don't know even how to thank Allah. I sit there at home, I do my Quran reading, and then somebody will just knock. Please, I need to see you. I need to see you for this. It's different requests.
So if somebody wants to get hold of you, let's say they're not in the country, does this have to be in person, or can you do it even through technology?
Yeah, today we can use it through the technology.
Zoom and all of that.
A video call, yes. Yes, we can do it that way, yes.
All right.
Unless it's not something very, very serious. Then we find a way,
Yes.
There is people that will tell me, okay, I'm living here, can you check up for me, No. No, I'm not going to do that. I prefer them, if they're in our vicinity or in the Gauteng area, that they come home. Right. Because I have to understand exactly what is going on. A lot of youngsters come. Some parents bring their youngsters, insisting that something really is bad with their children. And we do have that pandemic of the drug or substance abuse. And so I have to let the parents understand it. It's got nothing to do with this. This is something else. But we can still help you and find a way forward for him. Let me see how we can find his way and slowly take him off from what he's on.
Sometimes a girl maybe with a guy that's not accepted, and there's issues.
There's many different issues. Any human being, especially once they reach their teens, they are very much in a hurry to achieve everything and to get everything. If they meet somebody, their minds are made up, right? This is the person I want. Everything else goes out of the door. But you can't blame them, because they're still growing up. Maturity only reaches us at the age of 40, not at 21 and 16. So at times you got to sit with the young people, and the best way to deal with them is always to listen to them. Listen more to them than climbing down their throats. Yes. First, listen to them. Even parents, it's going to make them angry. But relax. Wait 2-3 days, and then bring it up again. Why are you doing it this way? This upsets me because it's going to take you off this road. And that method does work. In today's times, the younger generation are very fast moving, very, very quick. We communicate very quick. We travel very quick. So it's only obvious for them that they want to reach point B
like this
very fast. Yes, you're not going to stop them. People reaching me, if you can you can display my number there.
Right.
And my doors are open for anyone. It doesn't just have to be Muslim. I see to all.
If people want to get hold of Hafez Moosa, they can also send a message on Inspirate handle on Facebook, and then we can put you on to Hafez Moosa if you feel you would like to utilize his services. Now we've come to the last few minutes of the show. We thank you for blessing us and sharing this very intriguing subject. Some parting words, right? If we can summarize, to the audience, viewers watching, maybe somebody's affected. Like you said, their dreams are not being attained. Their businesses are being affected. They may be going through some marital problems.
Yes, people I sit with always, first principle I try to teach them is don't panic. Don't fear the tomorrow. Focus on what is happening. It's happening. And the best way to manage that is to calm yourself down, calm your mind down, relax your body. If you need to take a break, take that break. It is happening. And wait a while and begin to find a solution. First for yourself, if you can't. And then we sit together and we find that solution. But don't ever go into a state of panic. Because once we reach a state of complete panic, we lose complete perspective of everything. And then, we human beings are the masters of the blaming game. And then we begin to blame everything. And we only look at everything outside us, not within us. That's my parting words to people, is that trust in your Allah. Have real faith, have the guts, have the courage. Build that courage in you. And once you begin to build it, always ask Allah, oh Allah, and grant me wisdom with it. Because that is where we're going to end up, is with Allah. Our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a great teacher to us. We just got to understand and learn his life. It's not a dark world. It isn't. It can never be a dark world. It's a world of light. The other side, people are entering a world of darkness,
It's not a dark world, it's a world of light. They talk of this concept of abundance. And yes, Allah has given us all these gifts to go and express ourselves. So whatever challenge you are being affected with, yes, we've learned there is a reality that there can be these dark forces, but we have a gift as Muslims. We have the Quran, we have Salah, we have our faith. And if you really, down and out, as Hafez Moosa says, you cannot give up. There are people like Hafez Moosa to help us, guide us. As he says, he's only a guide that Allah is using to help those that are going through a challenge. On behalf of the Inspirate Business Show, we thank you so much, Hafez Moosa, for blessing us with your presence. I know it's been a long time coming, and appreciate all the words of wisdom that you've provided. I hope you as a viewer have enjoyed it as much and have learned as much as I have. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.